The number one reason online yoga classes lose students is bad audio. So in this video, I'm going to share the best mic in 2025 for yoga teachers, how to set it up, and a few key mistakes to avoid. And you're probably wondering, how do I know that this is the best mic? Well, it's the mic that I've been using to film my yoga classes for the last 6 years. And it's how I went from having audio like this. Hello and welcome to my first ever guided yoga YouTube video. Pretty bad, right? To this. Hello and welcome to this strong yoga flow. This is a short practice to help you build abdominal strength. Not too shabby. And in this video, I'm going to help you do the same. So when I first started filming yoga classes, I didn't even have a mic. So what I was doing was projecting as loudly as I could across the room, hoping that my camera would pick up the audio, which meant that my audio was very echoey, not very professional.
As you exhale, round through the spine, tuck the chin to chest.
So I realized that I needed a wearable mic, but I wanted something easy. I wasn't very techy at the time. So this is where I was introduced to our friend, the star of today's show, the Rode Wireless. This one is the Pro, which is the newest edition, but I started off with the first edition and I've had every edition since because I rate it so highly. Just quickly, if you're getting a lot of value from this video, then I think you'll get even more from my newsletter. It's for yoga teachers who want to teach online, build communities, and revenue streams. And in it, I share tips and advice over my years of doing this. So if that sounds like something that you need, click the link to join. Now this mic actually comes in 3 parts. So part number 1 is the receiver. This is the bit that you plug onto your camera or phone. This receives the audio signal. The other 2 parts are the transmitters. These are the microphones. You get 2 just in case you want to clip one onto another person. This is also a godsend, which I will get onto later on. But for now, when you're filming classes, you only need to worry about 1 mic. However, it's not as simple as plug and play, but in order to explain the more technical side of this microphone, I have a way for you to understand. But you need to imagine that this microphone is like a bouncer. And when you first get the microphone, it is on auto. And on auto, the bouncer is not very picky. It is just gonna let any old riffraff into the club, right? This means that although your audio won't sound bad, your voice will also be competing with the crowd, the background noise, and it won't sound very professional. So in order to get a professional sounding audio out of this mic, we want to switch from auto to manual. And when the bouncer is in manual mode, it's a lot more selective about what sound it's letting in. So here's how you can switch your settings inside the mic. First thing you need to do is switch from auto to manual. Then we need to lower the audio gain. You can think of this like volume. So I recommend -12 dB. This means that when you listen back to your recording, it's going to sound really quiet. Don't worry, this was intentional. This is so that the other sounds, the background noise that you don't want, won't get picked up as much. So when you come to increase the volume in the edit, it's going to sound much more professional. So now you've set your mic up correctly, your camera can still mess things up. This is because your camera has its own sound settings that you need to change so that it is working with your microphone. Otherwise, your camera thinks that you want everything to be loud. So it doesn't matter what you've got set on your microphone because the camera will override it. So here's what we do. We go into the audio settings inside the camera. It's going to be a little bit different for each camera, but you'll always find it within the menu. And then we need to switch the audio settings from auto to manual. Then we need to reduce the input level to just above the lowest point. This is what Rode recommends to keep your audio clean. So go with that. So now that your audio is sounding professional, there's one thing you need to be careful of before you even start recording. And this leads me to mistake number 1. So you remember earlier how I mentioned that it is a great thing to have 2 of these mics? Well, that's because mistake number 1 is forgetting to charge your mic or forgetting to turn it off. Because at the end of a filming shoot, when you're tired and you just want to pack away and go home, it's really easy to forget to turn this off. And then the next time you come to film, you think that it's fully charged and it isn't. So that's why having a second one that is fully charged can be great. But just to get into a good habit, make sure that you've got your kit charged before you start filming. Now, talking about good habits, when you are filming with something like this, make sure you've got the mic in a good position. I see a lot of people placing these wearable mics in places that makes it really difficult for your voice to reach. So these mics works best when your voice is closest to them. So as a general rule of thumb, collar height or like chest height is a really good place to aim for. Now be careful though, when you are clipping this onto your clothing, if you are wearing flimsy clothing, then this mic is going to flip over. This has happened to me so many times. Yoga clothes are the worst for this. So make sure that whatever you are wearing and you are clipping this to is a little bit more thick. You know, it's got more structure to it so that your mic's not going to go spinning around in the clothing. Now this one's for the ladies, and it is to watch out for your ponytail swishing up against your microphone, because you would not believe how much hair can impact the audio. And I have ruined so many classes when I've gone and listened back and realized that the whole time it's just so tie your hair back, believe me. Now also, when you are filming on location, say you're filming outside and there's a gentle breeze, that gentle breeze might sound really nice to you, but to your microphone, it just sounds like rustle and rumble, and it is the most frustrating sound because you cannot remove it in the edit. Or you can, but it's just always there. So that's why Rode came up with a little solution, and it's this little fluffy guy here. This is called a dead cat. Yes, that is the name. This is basically a windshield, and it just clips on to the top of the mic like this. Oops. There we go. And this basically just protects your mic from the wind so that if it is a little bit windier, you know that your mic's gonna be okay, your audio is still gonna be clean. So now that you've got great sounding audio, that's not the only thing you need to stand out online, because you also need great visuals too. The good news is though, there's only 3 settings you need to take your videos from looking pretty basic to cinematic. So if you want to level up your filming game, go and watch this video next.